Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. All right, happy end of January. I'd like to reflect on some goals of this year and how far I've come in 1 month. One of my biggest disappointments is that we only have so much time in the day, and also depending on your situation, you might have limitations due to health or other logistical issues. So, what do I mean by that? Well, I made it a goal this year to network with as many people as possible. And I have anxiety myself. That does not come easy for me. I make it a rule that anytime I'm out in public, say I go sit on a bus or at the student union or at the food court in the shopping mall, I make it a rule that if anybody's within 6 feet of me, I have to start a conversation with them. It could be a simple hello to see how it goes. Because let's face it, when I thought about, I made a mental list of the last 10 or so connections that I had. And most of them came out of nowhere, right? So I made it a rule. Anybody within 6 feet of me, I have to at least say hello to. It sounds like a very easy goal. It's not. It puts a lot of energy into your day to day of life, and I find that other things in my life have kind of suffered. Especially, I had planned to invent a new cryptocurrency. I haven't gotten around to that. I haven't gotten around to writing my computer games. My art project is kind of mixed bag because when I go to the student union, I love boasting about it, right? Especially the Mondrian squares because that's what I do over there. And so I have made some connections with the art. It hasn't all been um, gone anywhere though, but at least more people know about it. But the biggest problem is that it sucks energy out of my life. Also, the car that I'm driving is not exactly reliable, and I noticed this past month that I find myself trusting my car less and less. If I have important events that are on the other side of town, I'll literally drive to the other side of town an hour, 2 hours before the event just to hang around that part of town. And that really sucks the life out of me. It really does. And we're not even talking really big events, right? We're talking about the other day there was a meetup group that was playing my favorite board game, and I got there 2 hours early. I mean, granted, I did want to hike in the other area anyway. And then there was a job interview. It wasn't even a job that I wanted, but it was more of a networking. And I got there an hour and a half early just to hang around. This was in Tempe. And things like that. So put a drag on my life. I do want to replace my car at some point. I'm hoping the car can at least make it to next winter time. Wintertime's a good time to replace the car. I'm kind of taking a gamble that nothing happens to it during this summer. Um, okay. Uh, I also realized that another opportunity that I had missed yesterday. I was talking to a girl that I knew when I first moved to Phoenix. You guys remember those good old days, right? And I came to realize that she was complaining about a toxic relationship she had just left. And I asked her, well, when did you know this guy? In 2022, when I was first settling into Phoenix, I was thinking about making a move on this girl. We were playing chess at an event, and unfortunately, one day while talking to her, she referenced her boyfriend. It wasn't anything in particular. It was something more along the lines of, "Are we going to meet next week? Are we going to go to this other meetup?" "Oh, I can't. I'm seeing my boyfriend." And when she said the word boyfriend, my heart just kind of sank. I was so disappointed. And so I never made the move on her. Fast forward 3 years later, now I was asking her about what happened with this toxic relationship. She had known the guy since the beginning of COVID, and according to what she said last night, he immediately started to take advantage of her. And I'm like, gee, can I confess something to you? I had a long day yesterday. I was sleep deprived, and I was just kind of spilling my mind. And can I confess something to you? it's kind of embarrassing. And she's like, yeah, go ahead. And I said, there was a time I wanted to ask you out, but you mentioned a boyfriend, and I feel so guilty now. That they didn't do it. And she said, oh, you don't have to feel guilty. I had to learn my lesson the hard way. And I straight up asked her at the time, this would have been in September of 2022, what would have it taken for me to, just for future reference? We can't go back to that time, obviously, right? I don't have a time machine just yet. Just for future reference, how hard would it have been for me to steal you away from him? And she thought about it for a moment. She's like, well, not too hard at all. And I was so disappointed. And that's my life in a nutshell. A lot of these last 3 years have been a shit show for me. One missed opportunity after another. That I didn't even realize that was a missed opportunity until last night, right? Because she said she had a boyfriend. So now I gotta amend my New Year's resolution. It's anybody within 6 feet of me, even if they mention they have a boyfriend or husband or anything, even if they mention they have no intentions of ever dating. Right now, there's I go to a Chinese cultural church, and I got really excited about this one girl. I gotta confess, I social media stalked her, and I realized that she would have been at about 28, 29 years old, and judging by her social media, which she had since high school, it looks like she's never been involved in a relationship with a guy. I got really excited, but then I went to the church, and I quickly discovered that she's even more uh, solosexual or maybe asexual than I am. And so even then, I'm not going to give up. After what happened with, I'm kind of pivoting on my goal. I'm not going. I'm not going to accept her situation at face value now. Okay. I haven't always had the best of luck though. Aside from the whole shit show thing, sometimes, like I said, my car breaks down at always the wrong opportunities. Uh, I've been so hyper focused about how to network with people that I've been I had a moment of embarrassment at work the other day. I was tending to I have office hours at the campus, and I inadvertently talked to this one student. I want to say she's 21, 22 years old, and I inadvertently talked to her like I would talk to somebody I was thinking about asking out on a date. I didn't make the ask at the end, obviously, but as soon as I caught myself doing that, I felt really embarrassed, and I think it really pigeonholed my experience with answering her question, and so I've just been lost, that's all. This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.